allow these things. So.
Just gotta play by the rules they give us.
What's coming?
This, we're doing those zoning changes.
Oh,
You guys voted on, and one of
Yeah.
them was the architectural changes that the state's mandating, so.
oh, really?
Like, we can't.
Oh, you can't tell, like, have a
Yeah,
better house. or
there's,
make a
yeah,
look-
there's certain,
Not the state, it's the HBA that pushed that bill.
well, yeah.
Some of our most prominent homeowners we have in this community that do a lot of development work. So. Yeah. All right, I'll stop.
How does that play out? What's, it, you know, if it, with that new change, what's it look like?
It's mainly, we need to. People, when we can keep our code and then just not enforce it, because we can't enforce it, but I'm always kind of a
This one
believer of. We should modify our codes to. Be consistent with what the state allows us to do.
Oh, yeah,
So-
yeah. So let's keep the house, yes.
Well, it doesn't.
Oh, Jason, how you doing?
Homes, we don't have much anyway.
All right.
Now. It has a minor adjustment to townhomes.
You think you make an ugly
How much on
Oh,
the
that's the
agenda?
one, something else.
buy it anyway?
Yeah,
You might take on it.
yeah. Well, our codes, the main thing it does is it limits our ability.
There's an HDMI that's not plugged into anything.
See stuff related to apartments.
The cable itself is not plugged in.
This is the end of that HDMI, but
Like,
I don't know where.
Yeah.
they do this.
Should be one that snakes out up here, but
I don't think I'm worried.
So I don't think it's
that's, I'm not
gonna
really
be
sure.
worse than the world. It's just, I wanna make sure our code.
It's not a big.
Yeah.
Thing hasn't,
Are they?
haven't had anything broadcasting that.
I just think this is
Yeah.
step one.
It's getting pushed by, like, the home.
I think it might be that cable actually. It's not long enough to hit them.
Communities.
The thing is, I don't think that's long enough, and this one's not long enough to go.
It comes up through here,
Yeah, I know.
and they
That's-
take it around the outside.
With that, I'm scratched as far as I can.
Wanna build it.
Come up through this.
Oh, no, I'm there. I can get it.
There's more room down here. Hold on.
I can get that, but that's as far as I can get.
Ours doesn't carry. New materials and quality.
Mhm.
But some cities, I don't wanna break.
Yeah, let's just
Hey,
leave
this
it.
area, I was like, Georgia, that's an example. It's not
I
residential.
got it. Not
Jordan
super
Creek.
amount to it.
Mill Civic and originally.
If you pull that around the back, you get more room.
Yeah. It's like-
Southwestern territory.
Oh, it doesn't go. in.
It's trying to get ideas.
It's not anymore, so I think they let some.
Alright.
I guess we're doing.
Yeah, figure it out.
It's like, yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah.
remember how like these kids had yellow beige and they all had this terracotta? Yep.
Tile roofs.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was a time when it did work.
I just
So I'm curious what
What's the point?
happened.
Man, we done the wires and.
Did somebody else bring it here to plug their own laptop into?
Hi.
How are
We got
Yeah.
that one there. We got this one here.
Oh, Nelson runs his laptop out of his.
Yeah, he sits
Nice,
No.
here. He sits here next to Mary.
cool.
So it's like. He's on vacation this week, right? So we can just blame, we can blame him.
He's out of the country somewhere, so yeah.
The house, okay. She is, okay. Yeah, we had a free out there already, so. Or pretty free. It's, yeah. Access. Yep, you know, we brought that. Oh.
Hey,
Creative solution.
walkability. I'm a champion of that now,
Here you go.
so. Underneath the highways, I'm
All
all,
good.
I'm all for that.
Commissioners,
So they
ready?
get me cars.
Ready?
I will now call to order the November 25th, 2024 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. It is 5:45 PM. Hillary, would you call the roll, please?
Thompson. Steiger,
Here.
Samuelson,
Here.
Forrest,
Here.
Eaton,
Here.
Hinders, Reagonator.
Excuse me. Item number 3 is the approval of tonight's agenda. Any changes to this evening's agenda? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve tonight's agenda.
Make a motion. Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Item number 4 is the approval of the October 28th, 2024 minutes. Any changes to those minutes? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve the October 28th, 2024 minutes.
Forced motions. Tiger second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'd like to welcome the guests that we have here in person tonight and on Zoom. Would any member of the public like to comment on an item that is not on tonight's agenda? Hearing nothing, I'll move forward to the first substantive item, number 6, a request from Nutrisports Smoothie LLC for approval of the final plat of Hughes Century Crossing Plat 9. Elliot, would you brief us on this item, please?
Yep, the geography behind this item should look pretty familiar. We've dealt with this site a couple times now this year. Essentially what we're doing this time, we had Plant 8 that came forward, I think May, thereabouts, to split off the development lot initially. And then the developer and applicant came in with a plan to get the street built, which would ultimately become public infrastructure. And so in order for that to be deeded over to the city, it needs to become an official lot within the plat. It'll also make that lot eligible for a certificate of occupancy at some point. It'll be platted properly with public right of way on both sides. And then it also creates the boundary of Outlot X, which we've been having some pre-application meetings with some folks that the applicant knows about what's going to happen there. You guys think would have approved the preliminary plat identifying the road alignment in some fashion. Eventually, this will punch through to the east. I think we've already started doing grading work out there for where that road alignment's going to go. So this is East 18th Street here. This is all paved and substantially complete. You'll also see some construction activity out to the east of there if you decide to tool down Chatham Avenue. So that's what's going on there. Outlot X will plat out in future final plats similar to this. So that's all I've got. Jason's here in person representing the applicant, and I'm happy to take any questions the commission might have as well. That's all I have.
Any comment for us, Jason?
Good evening, Jason Levin with Snyder here on behalf of the applicant. One thing that is different from the preliminary plat is that preliminary plat did show a roadway to the east. At this time, that connection is not going to be constructed just due to economics and the potential for a little bit different development on Outlet X than what was originally anticipated. So utilities are all to this location, and we're just kind of working through what that's going to look like to Outlet X. But we do have access along Lot 1 for 18th Street. Happy to answer.
Any questions or comments from the commissioners?
So Elliot, does 18th Street essentially dead end right here?
Yes.
Any other questions or comments?
That doesn't cause any fire department access problems to the site or anything. They still can get around the building on all sides.
Correct. It'll be 2 driveways entering the site. Question like that might come up, so there's actually 3 access points to the site right now, in addition to whatever they might be able to achieve from Chatham.
There's no additional deliberation. I would entertain a motion to approve the final plat of Hughes Century Crossing Plat 9.
Samuelson, motion.
Dean second.
Ray, would you call the roll, please?
Steiger.
Aye.
Samuelson,
Aye.
Forrest,
Aye.
Eaton,
Aye.
Reginator.
Aye. Thank you, everyone. Item number 7 is a request from Michael Foods, Inc. for approval of a site plan amendment to Michael Foods. Elliot, would you brief us on this item, please?
Yep, so this site plan amendment is kind of similar to one that came through, I believe, in March or April of this year to P and Z. They're just doing a small office expansion off the south side of the building. This would be the street facing side. They did something similar to this. Last time they had an item before P and Z. And that's about I think 1,900 or just shy of 2,000 square feet expansion. And it's, yeah, that's basically it. It's gonna look pretty much the same as what's already there from an architectural standpoint. When we did the initial stormwater review, everything was built out there with this amount of hard surface in mind, so no issues there, but we'll be off to the west side of the front facade if you're out there and wanna have a look at some point. So I'm happy to take any questions. We've got Brandon Reynolds on Zoom, who's the project engineer.
Any comments for the commission, Brandon?
No, I do not. So Elliot did a good job of explaining it.
Great, thank you. Any questions, comments, deliberation from the commission on this item?
Elliot, if my memory serves me somewhat foggily correctly, I know Michael Foods has had some variances from what our requirements are for what a front of a building should look like, since they are essentially a factory. And I thought that we were, as these different things were coming about, we were gonna ask for them to have some of those materials that we're requesting new buildings to have be a part of that. Is that not?
I think you're thinking of the Capital City Fruit Building.
Oh, okay, maybe.
That one was the one that was built prior to our new architectural standards and stuff.
Got it.
Michael Foods is built, it is built to our architectural standards. That one is.
Thanks for clearing.
Good call, though. I mean, good remembrance.
It might seem a little bit counterintuitive since this is the office portion of the building and, you know,
Right.
that seems different than what a manufacturing facility would be, but
Right.
it's industrial zoning, so it's an industrial building.
Right, okay, all right.
Any other questions or comments from the commission? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion to approve the site plan amendment to Michael Foods.
Force motions.
Steiger second.
Hillary, would you call the roll, please?
Steiger.
Aye.
Samuelson,
Aye.
Forrest,
Aye.
Eaton,
Aye.
Reginator.
Aye. Thank you, everyone. George, any update for us tonight?
Other than what we kind of did our first reading, we were just talking about it earlier about the
Zoning update.
zoning updates, yeah, from the state, basically. Which is, I'll just leave it at that. And then, but we got together with our strategic planning. I'm probably talking out of school here, but I don't care. That's fine. I'll get in trouble. Then each council member gets a, like, champion something, like Jackie Livingston was champion of the Norwalk Central.
Mhm.
And so I'm walkability. So I'm being on P and Z, that I think our liaison will help there. So that'd be my it's a 10-year goal to make all the communities, as they kind of pick out the different modes of different communities in that area, identify them walkable between each other, but I would think more importantly, walkable inside each community as well. So anyway, look forward to gives me more of a purpose as opposed to just kind of sitting around taking it in and learning the council at first, but now you're starting to get some meat on the bones here. So I look forward to doing something like that.
George, are you,
To your help.
are you taking recommendations?
Yes,
I have one.
I got
and only
also,
one.
Be careful, I'll put you on a committee at some time.
My only one is making an underpass under Sunset by Fairway. So that way we don't have a lot of people trying to cross right there by Fairway.
That's, yep, that's right there, number 1 or 2, yep,
Cool.
yep. Just didn't know where to put it. I always go to the low point, so I look at that Greg Young, and I, but well, the kids aren't really there intensely. You get up by Norwalk Central, that's more intense.
Yep.
We'll see. And yeah, I thought that for years when I had my kids there, they're all grown up and they're about that tall and we lived in Lakewood. I thought there should be a bridge over that road because these kids are trying to get across there on the bikes and what have you. And that, it's not even close to what the traffic is there now. Plus, what the thing was, no, just more traffic. Yeah. Nope, hear ya. That, in my mind, is priority number 1 or 2.
Yeah, because once you get inside the city and down into the 35 zone, it doesn't seem to be that big, but right there, it's still 45. And that traffic's moving fast and I've seen kids trying to run across, not wait for the crosswalk and yeah.
Been only getting busier with everything going on, yeah.
Right.
That 35 needs to move north,
It probably will.
north of Fairway.
I've walked just from Craig Young to leave my truck there to get oil changed and walk over to the bank. I swear, I make everybody mad. I'm the only person that presses the button. I'm walking. I think everybody's looking at me going, that idiot.
Take back the streets, George. Take back the streets.
So anyway, that's the biggest news, just from a personal standpoint. So I look forward to that.
Yeah,
It'll
absolutely.
take time, obviously, but that's where it's got to start somewhere. So,
Great.
Good.
yeah.
I don't think Holly's joined us tonight. Luke, any update for us on the community development side?
Yeah, sure, just a few minor things. The item that, George referenced before is, we've been keeping a list throughout, really the last couple years of just little things that we wanted to clean up in the zoning ordinance. So we asked council to initiate those. Some of them are things that the state has done that we need to react to. So we referenced architectural standards. Some of them are just cleaning up our processes. And then a couple of things that are maybe more substantive to talk about. One of the things that we had on our radar for a while was tattoo studios and should those be classified somewhere. I think you guys have seen one somewhat recently that had to go to Board of Adjustment. And there was one probably 3-4 years ago as well. So we'll be bringing those forward on the 9th and have a discussion on those. The work house at the corner of High Road and Sunset was purchased. It had been sitting vacant for almost 2 years. So we had a meeting with the owners of that, primarily to talk about their intentions with it, because there were some problems with the quality of it. They do intend to take that down and build a commercial structure there. So that's good to have some investment in the community there.
It was purchased by locals.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, by a local business owner. It's operating out of one of our lease spaces now. So we're always excited when somebody can come in and invest in the community and put up a building like that. Not only does it get them a space, but then it also frees up more lease space in town for other things. So that's good. And then lastly, in Kingman City Hall, see things are progressing along. We've got a few more things on this side to get done, the countertops and the doors and stuff. If you want to stick your head in where our old office was, it's been completely gutted and reframed, and you can take a look at that if you want. And if you want to poke your head around in the offices that are done here, just feel free to do so after the meeting.
Thank you. Elliot, any update for us?
We will have a P&Z meeting on December 9th, just FYI. So let me know if there's a conflict or anything. We're gonna have some of those.
That will be the public hearings.
So
So
have that zoning item. So pretty important. If you're not gonna be there and still want some input, we can of course send the take comments from anyone who's got thoughts to contribute. If you're gonna be absent or need to leave early for some reason, I want to take a real quick moment to talk about the crossing by Fairway, since it was brought up at this meeting. I was on my way north, stopped at that intersection in the through lane a few weeks ago, and I saw a gentleman in a power chair trying to cross on the south intersection in the south crosswalk on the on Chatham, and there was a vehicle with an out-of-state license plate pulled forward into the crosswalk space, and this gentleman couldn't see the walk signal saying walk because he was in a lower stance visually and he couldn't spot it. And I brought that up to Wayne with Public Works because there's no stop bar out there of any sort. I don't know what the MUTCD would say about where those bars should or should not go. But it's important to note those things and tell the folks that work at the city about them, because I don't know about you guys, I've never seen a gentleman in a power chair in this building in my 7.5 years. So I'm taking this opportunity to speak on that person's behalf. I think they probably would have liked to save the, 2+ minutes of waiting out there in the middle of, town. So just something to think about. And, if you notice things like that, like tell us. We do pass those on to relevant parties here in town.
Who's the stop bar? What's that?
So like you got the two stripes forming the crosswalk lane. And then in a lot of places, this guy was in the turn lane, and there sometimes will be a stop bar in front of the crosswalk stripes. So that vehicles
White
don't.
stripe.
Yeah, wait straight.
Yep. The
Pay
broad.
pay attention next time you're driving up to one of the, especially one of the newer intersections in town, almost always before the crosswalk, there'll be a white bar parked,
Mhm.
and especially like with stop signs. and
Stop
stuff,
signs especially. yes.
You'll.
So you're supposed to stop there.
Yeah,
Right,
that's,
so the
that's,
front of your vehicle should
Now,
end there so that everybody can see what's going on.
but people do go beyond that,
Yes.
but it does
All
help.
the time.
Yeah, okay.
And it's like, we get it. Sometimes you think you can make a light. You end up not making it, and then you wind up further into the intersection.
if you saw in town, probably in the last 4 to 5 years, how all the bike trail, we did a project and all the bike trails kind of swing in closer to the road now. That was because the trail had been aligned so that the crossing on like Chatham and Colonial was behind where the stop bar would be at in a standard configuration. So we kick the trail over so that the crossing happens in front of the vehicles where it's supposed to. So if you ever wondered why the city ripped out a good trail and made it look funky, that was why.
Those are crossbars in that intersection you're talking about then? Or,
There's not on Highway 28. If you were to drive up and even just on the aerial here, the new Chatham extension has brand new stuff, new crosswalk, new stop bars, but on 28, there's not any. Yeah, you can't see it there.
Not so much, but like now there's a crossing stripe up here for the walking lane, but there's no thick bar in front of that to tell vehicles, don't stick your nose out in the walking.
And the stop bar should be at the end of the white stripe there, right at the end of that median for that left-hand turn lane. So
Anyway, I just wanted to bring, since we were talking about that intersection.
the other thing to know about 28 and pedestrian crossings is the fact that it's DOT controlled makes everything 100 times more difficult. So there are a lot of things we could do that would be cheaper than doing underground or overground crossing, but we're not allowed to if it's not our road.
I'll have to look for that, because when I turn into the bank, sometimes they'll, catch that yellow light just wrong, and if I pulled out far enough, and I end up backing up because the car is coming out of the legacy area, I'm not too far, and, I need to back up, because they gotta swing out wide to get around me if that's the case, so.
Was it George that you saw, Elliot?
Seen them out there walking quite a bit.
I won't even get into all the police saying hello to me, hitting their headlight or their little flasher real quick. That's telling me I'm going too fast. I thought they were just saying hello. Let's see. One of these days, they're just gonna pull me over and give me a ticket.
Our next meeting will be December 9th, 2024 at 5:45. I will now entertain a motion and a second to adjourn.
I'm not admitting to it.
Second one, 4 seconds.
All in favor, say aye. We're adjourned at 6:05 PM. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, have a good holiday. Safe travels if anybody's headed anywhere fun.
Well, that way. Yeah.